Welcome to the Bobcast,
where we have real conversations about being authentic.
We believe being Bobcat Strong means
you have the power to be real
and make a real impact.
Hey, welcome back to the Bobcast. Hey, in this episode, we're going to talk about community. We're going to talk about community outreach. We're going to talk about the impacts of volunteering. You see, one of the benefits of volunteering is the impact on community. And being part of your community, you want to leave a legacy. You want to leave a lasting impact upon community. You see, volunteers are often the glue that holds community together. It allows you to connect to your community and make it a better place. Even helping out with the smallest tasks can really make a difference, can make a real lasting impact. And that's what we're talking about here, being Bobcat Strong. We're talking about being real. So volunteering is a two-way street also. It benefits the individual that's volunteering. It benefits their family as much as the cause you chose to help and support. Dedicating your time and your support helps one make new friends, expand your network, and it also boosts your social skills. So throughout this whole episode of the Bobcast, we'll be discussing being stretched as an individual to serve, having that servant heart, and the benefits of working with and in community. You see, recently some students at Mount Vernon Junior High, they took that plunge. They took the plunge. We'll talk with them and some key members in our community that serve for a common purpose. So, with that, let's dive in and take a listen.
You are freezing for a reason.
To raise money for Special Olympics.
Are you ready for an icy cold Coca-Cola? One!
I'm so proud of myself! I feel my feet!
Can we do it again?
Did you do it again? Yes! As you...
Hey, it's Brothers and Weaver here, ready to play Minute to Win It. So, Randy Parker, in a minute or less, can you tell us who you are and why you are here with us on the Bobcast?
Yeah, my name's Randy Parker. I was invited here for my volunteering with Special Olympics and my involvement with the polar plunge. I graduated in '85 from the other end of the county up there at North Posey. Been married to my wife for 30 plus. I'm not going to incriminate myself here. She's a special education teacher here at Mount Vernon Junior High. I've got two kids. We've moved to Mount Vernon in '95, so the kids will be in the same school district that she's teaching in. I drive a truck for FedEx Freight. Just celebrated my 30th year anniversary with the company, and pretty much enjoy about anything outdoors, kind of like Mr. Weaver here. My favorites are bow fishing, morel hunting in the spring, and riding my side-by-side around the river bottoms.
I think that was exactly right at a minute.
Oh, very nice.
Mr. Parker, what does he win, his brothers?
There were prizes.
Oh, you win the satisfaction of a job well done and that round of applause.
Thank you.
So, Randy, can you tell us what is a polar plunge?
Polar Plunge is the staple fundraiser for Special Olympics. You sign up, you get a team together, you raise a minimum of $100, and you run into a freezing cold lake.
Okay, and you are a super plunger, correct?
Yes.
So what is that?
Well, the first year I did it, I've been the top fundraiser at every single local plunge that I've done. The first year I raised a little over $2,000. I was like never dreamed I could raise that much money, but I'm very passionate about it. I work hard to raise this money so our athletes can be included in sports year round at no cost to them that they otherwise wouldn't have been allowed to do. So anyway, back to the question. The second year, I raised $4,700, and when I turned my money in, they said, "Congratulations, you're a Super Plunger." I'm like, "Oh, cool, I'm a Super Plunger." She goes, "Well, to become a Super Plunger, you have to come up to Indianapolis and jump in a second time." And I gave her a look like, "Are you crazy?" And she said, "Well, you don't have to raise any more money." I said, "That's obviously not the problem here. It's that running into a freezing cold lake a second time." So she then explained to me that it lets your followers, the people that supported you, know that you're passionate enough about the cause that you're willing to run into a freezing cold lake a second time. So Jenny and I drove up to Indianapolis, got up there, 18 inches of ice in Eagle Creek Reservoir. They cut a huge hole in the ice, and we ran in a second time.
Oh my goodness.
That was definitely too hard of a sound. I know I'm big, but come on, Mr. Weaver, give me a little break here.
Okay, how about this one?
Okay, that's more like he's splashing around at this.
Sounds like he's wading in the water. So it sounds like this is definitely something that's important to you, passionate about. Can you tell us what originally motivated you to do this and to advocate for Special Olympics athletics?
11 years ago, Jackie Meyer approached Jenny and I about starting the Special Olympics program up here in Posey County. We had messed around with it before we had children. We took some kids to some track meets, but it was nothing like it is today. So we agreed we'd jump in and help her get this program started. Well, we didn't have any money. Got suckered into doing the polar plunge. I actually offered to donate the first year, and my friend Vicky said, "No, I want you on my team." I said, "Why do you want me on your team?" She goes, "Because you will make it fun." I said, "I'm not going to argue with you, Vicky."
Oh, that's the best compliment. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the rest was history, I guess.
Yeah, it's done pretty good with it. In 10 years, I've done 20 plunges. 10 regular plunges, 9 super plunges, and then during COVID we went up and helped with a plunge at IU, and I went ahead and jumped in because I was there. So.
And you missed it.
No, I hit it. And it was actually a pool. All the rest of the plunges are into a lake. But my 10-year total, I've raised probably over $120,000 for Special Olympics.
That's incredible. So, Randy, one of the things we talk about with Bobcat Strong is we try to help our students understand that everything they do causes a ripple effect, positive or negative, their actions spread to others. And so, one of the ways that we can make a positive ripple effect in our community is by volunteering, getting involved like you've done with Polar Plunge throughout the years. Can you talk a little bit about why volunteering and why bringing the fun and the energy is so important, not only in the school building for our students, but why is that something that they should carry on with them past junior high?
You just get a good feeling from helping others. If you've got a skill set that you can help somebody else with, a little extra free time, it will reward you back more than you give. I tell people all the time my involvement with Special Olympics, I almost feel guilty that I get more out of it than we put in it, and we put a lot in it. I mean, a lot of time. The amount of time Jackie and Jenny spend on the computer and meetings and stuff just to make the fun stuff happening. The plunging is what funds all of the fun stuff. It makes you feel good to think that you're helping someone maybe less fortunate than you.
Absolutely. And you probably build a lot of great relationships with the students you've gotten to meet along the way.
I have made lifelong friends from the athletes, their parents, grandparents, the other super plungers. it's like any club or organization. It's like there's a handful of people that do most of the work. Well, the Super Plungers do a big chunk of the work. We text back and forth when we're at the state summer games. We're like, hey, you guys want to meet for supper tonight? Just become friends because of your common interest in helping others.
Sure, yeah. Well, I want to talk about one of those relationships you've built today, because we have a student here that's really special to Mr. Weaver and I.
I think I know where you're going.
Yeah, he's been on the podcast before.
J-Dub?
Jaden, yes, sweet Jaden. And we're actually going to invite Jaden back on to the podcast.
Yeah, Mr. Kentucky himself.
That's right. So can
Why
you talk
did
a
I
little?
not get invited when Jaden was going to be?
Oh, Jaden is just an infectious personality in the best way. So can you talk a little bit about Jaden's involvement with Special Olympics and maybe some of the growth you've seen from him over the last few years?
Jaden's fairly new to our program, but he brings so much. Part of my marketing for my polar plunge, I do a lot of this through Facebook, and I take thousands of pictures of the athletes participating, having a good time, and part of my marketing is look at the smiles that your donation helped create. Well, Jaden Wiggins is probably the most photogenic kid. The kid
He does.
is
$1 million
always,
smile.
always smiling. He always gives it 110% with whatever he's doing. You just could not like Jaden Wiggins.
Oh, absolutely. And I know, for us in the school building, I've seen just such a level of confidence come in Jaden and the way that he interacts with the students around him. And honestly, I think a lot of that confidence and that skill set we've seen in his social life has come from things like Special Olympics. And, when we had him on the podcast the first time, he talked with the students a lot about the importance of including others around you who are different. And he even talked about how if someone has autism, it doesn't mean that they won't make a great friend for you and that you should give them a chance. And I know that made an impact on the students in that episode, but honestly, it's something that Mr. Weaver and I still talk about to this day that really stuck with us.
And he started singing. You remember that?
He did.
Maybe we can get him to sing a song again on the next one.
Yeah, Special Olympics, it isn't just about the competing. It helps with their social skills, their overall health. They've got a fitness club. They go on walks in summer to keep them busy in between sports. We have, parties, banquets throughout the year, and it definitely, Special Olympics even has an athletic leader council that when the kids get, I think it's into high school age, can then join this, and they actually go up to Ball State and go through some classes on how to be more of an athlete leader, to be the voice of their community.
It's amazing. It's so important for students to feel like they're really a part of something, and I love that Special Olympics provides that.
All right, Randy. Hey, quick question. Small moment that made a big impact on your life.
I would have to say it is just the volunteering with Special Olympics. All these athletes want is to be included. Special Olympics gives them that opportunity to participate in sports that they normally wouldn't have otherwise had the opportunity to compete in. And it really gives you that good, heartwarming feeling that you had a small part in making all of that happen. So I'd encourage everybody, find something you're passionate about, get out there, volunteer. When you're filling out college
Applications?
not applications, the scholarship
Yeah,
applications.
There you go, yeah.
My daughter, volunteered from the time she could walk with Special Olympics practically, and she really feels that when she had the interviews for her scholarships, that it really made a difference when she told some of her Special Olympics stories.
Sure, absolutely. And you talk about that ripple effect, like we tell our Bobcat students here. It sounds like not only can the ripple effect make an impact on the people around you, but it almost can circle back and make an impact on your life, motivate you to keep volunteering, to branch out.
And it's about leaving that legacy, like what we talked about. And it's very impactful. Anything else, Randy, on that?
Not really. We're plunging on the 24th at Petersburg. Look us up on Facebook, Team Hypothermia, Posey County Special Olympics. Got 19 people signed up. I'm currently have raised $12,000 for this year. My goal was 15. They call it freezing for a reason. Be bold, get cold. It's what makes all the fun stuff happen.
Yeah, we just did that with the junior high. This was our first team in a while, I believe, and I think it was like 7 or 8 of us, and we went out. And
you guys killed it.
Yeah.
Raised an incredible amount of money with just that few of kids.
And I think next year, because those kids kind of caught that bug, I mean, hopefully they didn't get sick when they got in that cold water.
I've never gotten sick doing it. It takes you a little while to warm back up, but
yeah.
I'm willing to be miserable to make all the fun stuff happen.
But I think they're talking about it, and they're going to have a bigger team next year. And then high school, Key Club, Luke Harris, he had a team. So I think it's awesome that our community here in this district that we're pushing out for the Special Olympics and for polar plunge.
Absolutely.
Right, yeah. So, all right, here we go. This is the fun part. This is where the fun begins. So, Randy, we're going to close it out with some craziness, some silly questions. So, what is the craziest characteristic you have besides jumping into cold, freezing water?
I really think I'm actually a 13-year-old trapped in a 57-year-old man's body.
That's pretty crazy, don't you think?
Yeah.
Okay. You ready for the next question?
Let's go.
All right. If animals could talk, right?
Okay.
Which would be the rudest?
Being that I like bow fishing, which is one of the most redneck outdoor sports out there, it would definitely have to be the Asian carp.
Okay, well,
Tell us why.
Yeah, why? Why the Asian carp?
The Asian carp jump out of the water. The boat motor vibrations cause them to go nuts. You can go out on the Wabash River and hit pockets of these things, and they just launch out of the water, and they aim for a person first. If they can't hit a person, they will hit the most expensive thing on the boat, and then it's just a mess. They're slimy, they're nasty.
Now, here's the thing, Randy. I appreciate you being on the Bobcast, but I think I have to beg to differ, and I'm going to challenge you this.
Ooh,
because
this is a debate.
It is. This is a serious matter. So I feel like in the defense of the Asian carp, they feel threatened. So I think when I think of a rude animal, the first thing that comes to my mind is a flamingo. Because
a flamingo?
Listen, just hear me
They're
out.
pink and pretty and...
Just hear me out.
Okay.
Listen, they walk around like they're better than everybody else is what I think it is. And if you go to a zoo and you watch the flamingos interact, they are mean to each other. And if you try to interact with them, they will like throw things at you or they will make noise at you. They just walk around with their head held high.
So these pretentious little birds, well, actually they're tall birds. Really?
They're rude for no reason.
Maybe
the Asian carp's just trying to defend himself.
Well, maybe because they're in the zoo. I don't know.
Oh, that's not a bad point, actually.
Maybe they're jumping out of the water at Randy because he's jumping into their water, so they're jumping out and slapping him in the face. I don't know.
I think if the flamingos were standing on the banks of the Wabash, the Asian carp would then target them.
You think they'd be after them too? Well, then they'd have a reason to be rude. What about you, Weaver? What are you going with?
Man, I don't have anything. I really don't. I can't think of anything right off the top of my head. I mean, you'll have to... Can we table that?
Maybe
for
stay tuned for the next episode. We can ask Jaden.
Yeah, we'll table that. We'll table that right now. Okay, Randy, we're going to close out. If you give us some words of wisdom, give us some Parkerisms, what you shouting out?
Well, I'm pretty famous for putting in a few hours of work for 5 minutes of fun. That's kind of the thing. Me and my friends, we'll put all this work into something, and you really only get 5 minutes of enjoyment out of it, but you can't really put a price on fun, in my opinion.
All right, there you have it. Randy Parker, Super
man himself.
Plunger.
Hey,
Go ahead.
Before we go, I just want to give a big shout out to Mr. Weaver for leading the junior high student council to the Boonville Polar Plunge and kicking butt and raising a lot of money for Special
Round of
Olympics.
applause for Weaver and Stuco, please.
Oh, really? Oh, we Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
He's taking a bow, folks.
Oh, well, with that, we're just going to kind of close that out, and we'll get to the next segment with our student interviews.
That's right. Be real, Bobcats. Hey, don't forget to join us next week on the Bobcast for Taking the Plunge Part 2.
Be real, Bobcats. See ya.